please do. That was lovely, thank you. It was beautiful, so
Thank you.
it was amazing. So, and thank you to Laura and Audra for having me, I appreciate it. So I've never done anything like this before. I've never spoken in public, so I kind of need you to my side here a wee bit. That would be appreciated. So I started Snack back in 2018. Who knows Snack? Everybody kind of know what I'm talking about? Okay, that's something. So I used to work for a student magazine called Student Advertiser, and I was the sales guy there. My background before that was in advertising. It was in like insurance sales, and also selling mobile phones for O2. So I'd never done anything cultural before, and never worked in, I'd never written for anybody, I'd never done anything. I'd get no right to be doing what I do. So yeah, spent like most of my 20s and a good bit of my 30s kind of doing call centre work and persuading people to buy broadband or mobile phones, or worked for the National Farmers Union, sold insurance for them, sold insurance for loads of different people anyway. So ended up getting lucky one day, and I'm telling you the story of how it got started, right? Okay, I should tell you that. So basically, I went for an interview. I was kind of bored working in call centres, and I got an interview for a company that was selling advertising for journals, yacht books, yearbooks for yachts and kind of businesses and stuff like that. And during the interview, I told the guys that I was in a band, and they're like, right, okay, cool. And I got the interview, and I got the job on the back of saying that I was in a band because they had a product called the Student Advertiser, a student magazine that they'd just launched, and they didn't know how to speak to the people that they wanted to speak to. They didn't know how to speak to people who were artists or kind of involved in culture, and they thought because I was in a band, I would be able to do that. So, okay, fair enough. So I did that for a while, and when the editor left, I ended up doing that job as well as advertising sales. And after, long story short, I kind of decided I was doing everything myself, so I should just launch something myself and do it myself anyway. So, and I've got a habit of doing that. I've got a habit of kind of like just doing stuff I've got no qualification for, or just like no right to be doing.
DIY for the win.
Yeah, exactly. I was just telling somebody earlier on, like I was at Porto recently to Primavera, and I had a photo pass, and I was up for going to like taking photographs of people. But anyway, my partner got a photo pass, so anyway, that's a rubbish story. Okay, so as I said, I got lucky. I ended up, I seen there was Scotland is blessed with some great cultural publications. So for a long time there's been the List and there's been the Sky, and they've done a great job. I used to love both, and I kind of still think they both do a very, very good job. But I seen that there was a space for something just a little bit friendlier, a little bit closer, something that knew what it was talking about, but didn't hold it against you. You know what I mean? Didn't hold it above you. It kind of talked to you in kind of natural and easy language, and made it easy for people who didn't quite think that they were into arts, didn't quite think that theatre was for them, didn't quite think that things that weren't in the top 40 were for them, and can I speak in a way that made people go, oh right, okay, I'm into that kind of thing, this is for me, I don't feel excluded from this conversation. So that's kind of where I seen the magazine starting. This sounds a lot more organised than it actually was. Through good luck and some good friends, I managed to get the money together to launch the thing and get the first issue out. So it'll be Carla G. Easton on the front cover, which she's a brilliant artist and works with us now. She does social media for the magazine these days, and she's great, and her enthusiasm is great, and it was just like such a good front cover to kind of say, right, this is us, this is where we are. So the first issue, we get it together, sell the advertising, get it printed. Everything I'm doing, I'm working it out as I'm doing it. I've got no idea what I'm doing. I knew absolutely nothing. imagine me going to Edinburgh on the bus with a granny trolley full of magazines because I didn't have a car to distribute magazines. I can't tell you that whole story, but anyway. Imagine train spotting, do you know how like they're running down Princess Street and there's Renton, there's Spud and there's Sick Boy and they're running down and they're like, you know, they're heroin addicts, but somehow it's quite glamorous. You know, oh man, that's cool. That was not me. So I'm going down Princess Street with this granny trolley and one of the wheels falls off. So I'm dragging all the way down Princess Street. It's like scraping a hole. Big line all the way down. The noise is horrific. So I was meeting my brother later on. He actually did have a car, and we did have a plan to distribute, but I just wanted to get out there and do it. But anyway, the lovely people in the tourist information place, they let me store the magazines there, and I kind of used that as a base to kind of like go about and do a wee bit. Okay. So we got the first issue out, it all went well. My brother came and helped us. We actually fulfilled our promises to the advertisers. We got a magazine out there, and we thought we'd done a good job. And from there, things kind of happened quite easy, to be honest. We had Aidan Moffat in for an interview for issue 2, with Stuart Braithwaite in for an interview for issue 2, which like we had no right to, and just like so lucky that they were kind enough to kind of trust us to do that. We had just so many great artists like just said yes to us. And so monthly, we get into the cycle of kind of putting it together. I should mention that a lot of the people who I worked with in Student Advertiser came with me to start Snack. So with Johnny Stone, who was our LGBT editor, who's an amazing writer. You might have read his work. He's used to do the Not Gay Movie Club for us, and he's an incredible writer. And he's just like so funny, and he's so witty, and he just brings so much to it, brings so much knowledge and passion. He's a fantastic writer. And Food Explorers, you might know them, they do a food and drink blog called Food Explorers. They've been with us since the beginning. Andy Riley, who does Snack Bits, he's been with us since the beginning. So Alistair Braidwood, who does books for us, he came in quite early as well. He said he liked the magazine. I was about to ask him if he wanted to write for it, he offered. Wow, okay. So now we've got a book section. So what started off as kind of a music magazine started attracting people just by the fact of doing something. So we're doing something, we're making it, and people are just coming to us and saying, we like what you do, can we be a part of it? We like what you're doing, can we be a part of it? And I'm like, yes. So I guess that's kind of where my ethos kind of came from, was just like letting people do what they want to do. Came from necessity. I didn't go out saying like, this is the way that I want to run the magazine. It was just like people saying, I want to do this. And it's just like, right, okay, I know that you're good, I will trust you to do it. And then them coming back time and time and time again, and doing it time and time again. And then as you do it, it's just like you're walking with a big massive bag of rocks, and you're walking down the road, and you're picking up rocks, and you're putting rocks in it all the time. And then sometimes rocks fall off, and you go back and you pick it up again, and you walk on. Sometimes rocks jump into the bag. Awesome, that's great. So eventually you've got a magazine, and I think we've done quite well. Like we've kind of, we've got our own kind of place in the kind of cultural landscape of Scotland, I think. I hope that's not too much to say. And I really enjoy doing it. Mostly I kind of work from home. I do miss working in an office with people, but it's just, it can, and we've had offices at times, but I think, okay, we'll stop that just now. So COVID happened. We were doing really well. We were kind of getting a voice, people were understanding what we were about, people wanted to know, and then COVID happened, everything stopped. So, we were in fact the only magazine in Scotland that kept going throughout the lockdowns, and it kept leasing. And I know that it kept a lot of the writers sane as well, because it gave everybody something to do every week. We got together in video chats as everybody did, which when it was fun and when it wasn't what it is now. And we all supported each other, and we all were making something together, and we were all being creative. And I think it was at that point that I kind of realised that it wasn't just about me collecting names to put in a magazine. It wasn't just like, I've got a list of names here who we were really fortunate to get. And I was kind of like collecting like Pokemon a little bit. And I was like, oh yeah, it's really, really cool. We've got James Lavelle. Oh, amazing. Like James Lavelle I've loved since I was like 15, you know. And it wasn't till that happened and we were on our backside and we just had to all come together that I realised that what it was to everybody else, it wasn't just me collecting names or like my ego or whatever else. That's probably too strong, but it was something that everybody was invested in and everybody wanted to be a part of and everybody got a lot from and everybody got what they put into it. And that really opened my eyes to like what we were doing. So yeah, like I said, we were the only, we published digitally during lockdown and then came back just when we could. It was the March of whatever year it was, I can't remember, it was a long time ago. And we've just been growing ever since. So now we've got the magazine, which we do every month, which again, people come and want to be a part of it all the time. People want to contribute to it because we don't have space to include all the amazing writers that want to be a part of it. We've got an amazing designer, Joanna, at Sister Creative, who's been with us, I don't know how long now, but her imprint on the magazine is so important. She just brings a tone and just lifts. See, when you see things in a Word document and then you see it in her design, it just makes such a big difference. It just makes it into something else. It makes something that might even be slightly drab sometimes. Sometimes it can just, the understanding of the connection between the two lifts it up. So I know that Leona, our sub-editor, who's currently a deputy editor, I know that she wouldn't be doing what she's doing. She kind of edits books for like freelance for like Penguin or like many different kind of publishing houses, and she has said to me that she didn't have the confidence in order to go freelance for that unless you had the magazine and the experience to do it. I know that like Natalie Jane Clark, who's done What's On for us for many years, and she's a fantastic writer, and she's just just released her first novel, the Malt Whiskey Murders, and I know that she got a lot from working with the magazine and the experience of writing and kind of putting things together and working to deadlines and taking instruction and working back and forward and all sorts of things. Instruction is a strong word. As you can tell, I couldn't instruct. Don't know. That's that way. Okay, so that's where we are now. We've got a monthly magazine. It's out right across Scotland every month. I'm the editor, I'm the sales person, I am the delivery boy, I deliver all the magazines myself by hand, I manage the team, I help design sometimes, I do social media sometimes, with Carl, I just do absolutely everything. And these are all skills that I've never had before, and they're skills that I've just like picked up along the way, and I've learned from the people that have come in as much as they've kind of learned from what I've kind of picked up as I've gone along as well. So it's all a big community thing. We've got two types of customer. Am I going on too long?
No, just say no.
2 minutes? All right. that was the first 2 pages. Okay.
Sorry, we can mix that a little bit.
No, I was scared I'd finish in 2 minutes. And then okay. So I do lots of different things. I love it, I hate it, it's an amazing thing. It's got a life of its own. I'm barely in control of it. It just keeps on going. And I can do very, very little about that. I just have to keep on speaking to people, getting in advertising in order to feed the beast. And that's my main job, is just like convincing enough people these days. The most important thing I do is convincing enough people to spend money on advertising so that I can feed the beast, so that we can pay for print bills, so we can pay for writers, because we do pay all our writers, which is surprisingly unusual. We don't pay them a lot, but we do pay them, and everybody who's involved in it. So my main job is getting told no by people. My main job is people saying no. Because our biggest competitor is like Google. Our biggest competitors are Meta from Facebook. Our biggest competitors aren't like the magazines in Scotland. Our biggest competitor is TikTok. Do you know what I mean? We're a small independent magazine, try to make the right decisions, try to give something back to the community, try to support grassroots artists, trying to give people their first chance of writing, trying to give grassroots artists their first reviews in print, give them their first interview, give them the experience of being in that loop with media and getting their voice out somewhere that's not completely controlled by them, which is what social media is. You can control everything. When you take it out of there, there's different skills involved. So people are gaining skills all the time, and the main reason that it exists is to support the grassroots and to just make things better, and I hope it makes things better in some way, and that's it. So, thank 2 minutes.
Questions? Does anyone have any questions?
I'm sorry, I forgot to ask, was that strawberry tartan?
It was brown tartan. So yeah, you can.
Do you have a new one at least?
I have a red trolley, right? So it was kind of our mascot for a while. So I've got a red trolley. It's really cool. And I used to kind of like get out the back of the van, but it's just I found it was quicker to just grab stuff out of the car or the van. And like we've been through so many bangers. Like every car that's in it's at the end of its life, and every van that's at the end of its life in Scotland, I end up with it. But yeah, to answer your question, it's a red trolley now, and sometimes it gets used.
Sounds like a wee sprint.
Yeah.
I think we'll go with you and yourself.
How many shapes of customers would you say you have, Kenny?
How many different?
Would it be 2?
Yes. It's 2 different brand groups. We have 2 different types of customers. We have a reader and we have the advertisers, and there's a balance to be struck. So most organisations will have an editorial team and they'll have a sales team, and ideally there should be a wall between them, and they should not talk to each other or they should hate each other. I was going to make a joke about self-hate or self-love or whatever. But yeah, so I do both, so it's a fine line, trying to kind of balance the both. Be independent, but also not get the piss taken out of yourself. Doing stuff for people, but realising when people have budgets and when they're trying to get the piss. Knowing that line is kind of where I live. And it's hard, but the reader generally comes first, and we would never cover anything in the magazine that we wouldn't. Anything that we do in the magazine that is paid for, it would only be there if it wasn't paid for. We might do it slightly bigger, we might give it more space, but we would never cover anything that we wouldn't already cover just because somebody's paid us. And I think that's where my line lies, and I think that's a fair line. And I think that gives the reader what they need, and it gives the advertiser what they need.
Bill, do you have a question?
That was going to be my question, like editorial independence and like, because I don't think when I've read it, like I think, oh, there's an interview with so and so, and then an advert for them on the next page.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So okay, but I was just curious about like the relationship with like Scotland's art scene. So it's great to kind of cultivate these things, but like where do you think you can help shape this in a certain direction? Like where do you think it can go?
I think we already do. I think we already shape things. I see things change when we change. For a start, like different tones we use, or even just like design decisions we make. Like I see them when we do it, I see them appear somewhere else, just something as small and simple as that. But I see artists that we support from the beginning growing, and I see them getting bigger and bigger gigs. I see us in 2021 signing up to Key Change and committing to 50-50 in our editorial covers and also in staffing. And that's the gender split, and I think we've led the way with that in a way, and I think we're helping change things in that way too. But we've got a responsibility. It's like festivals have you might have read the article that was in the recent magazine about festivals and gender diversity and things. It's like we've got as much a responsibility to kind of do these things and kind of lead the way, and I mean we're not perfect, but we do a decent job at it. And I think people do react to what we're doing, and I don't know, maybe you would know better than me.
Yeah, I've got a question about your distribution and numbers. Also just want to say thank you, because I think your editorial, your comments, are in support of free speech always, and I really appreciate that that's the first thing that we read when we open the magazine, that it's your voice, and that feels as though it's not stymied, that you can say what you want to say about things that are happening, current events.
Right.
So thank you for that. But your distribution numbers, like how many are you putting out every month?
So it's between 5,000 and 7,500. So it depends on the month. So in February it's less. The one we're working on just now is 7,500 because it's Edinburgh festivals. But it's a hefty print run. But that's what you need, because we're distributing to Glasgow, Edinburgh, Paisley, Dundee and Stirling, and just making sure that I distribute to over 700 places across Scotland. Some places get 4 copies, some places get 120, and it just kind of works that way.
Thank you all so much for your questions, that's amazing, and thank you Kenny, that was brilliant.